Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's conversation. And we're so excited to have our guest here, Konya, joining us here, who is a intuitive abstract artist and empath, born in Romania, but now residing in Albania, and the beauty of technology as we come to you from Albania, the UK, and Africa. So, welcome, Anna.
Good
And
evening and good morning or good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are globally. And it's my big honor and pleasure to be here with these beautiful ladies tonight. So thank you for inviting me.
and I'd like to say and acknowledge Sarah Jane, our other co-host here with me and my partner. And we're excited to have you here, Anna. And wow, that's a lot. You are an intuitive abstract artist, an empath. And when we talk about intuitiveness, why don't you share how intuitiveness plays a role in your artwork?
Well, when I started to make my art, I didn't even know how is this is called. So I just did it. And then after years, somebody said to me, well, you are making it intuitively. And I was like, well, yes, I am. I'm not following any pattern. I'm not copying. I'm not like, I did not learn it in university, in school. So whatever it was just on the paper or on the canvas, it was just me coming from some place what in that time, I had no idea what it is. I just felt a really big urge to put it on paper, to use it in colors, and to express something what it was within me, and it was like willing to explode and willing to be expressed. And for many years, especially my younger age, of course, we are not paying so much attention to our intuition, to our inner voice, or whatever it is that we don't even know what it, because we were following the trends and the fashion, and we just want to be just like the other ones. And if we have by the chance a character or a personality which is different from the others, we try to suppress it, because all we want to be just like all the others and to be normal, whatever that means, normality. So now I realize that being normal is actually who I am now, and then who is out there, well, they are living in a different norm. So, and yes, intuitive abstract art, what I'm doing, it is actually the reflection of a soul, and through my soul it's a reflection to the connection to everything, because our soul, well, it is connected to God, to source, to everything around us. So it's like universe expressing itself through me. And it's funny because when I had my first exhibition a couple of years ago, I know what I actually expressed, but the feeling is still the same. Every time I'm taking a brush to work on something, I have the feeling like a door, like God is opening a door. I'm stepping through a gate in a completely different world, a world where there is harmony, there is peace, there is joy, and the colors are all the colors what are calming and rebalancing something within me. And I am becoming part of this pureness. And I can't compare it with as like us being just a simple entity, whole, no damage done, no harm done to us. And I think through art and through making and tapping into this, making intuitive art, tool, from my point of view, it's like for everyone. It is available for all of us. What it's needed, I think, from my side, it was bravery to take the pen and start. And don't care if somebody's watching you, don't care if somebody's judging you, and do not care if somebody is having a different point of view or different view of anything. Because you know that give yourself 5 minutes, but in that 5 minutes, you are healing yourself in a most amazing way. And this is how intuitive abstract, intuitive art making, but I'm doing painting art, but intuitive, you can sing in languages what you may not even know.
Yes.
Because and then you are using a language of your own soul.
Yes. Beautiful. And Sarah Jane?
So I've never really been good at art per se, but we all have the ability to be creative in some way. And if we can be creative using color, I think that's really important, because life isn't black and white. Life is every color of the rainbow, of the spectrum. Our chakra energies are the colors of the rainbow. Look at nature. She isn't monochrome. She is multicolored, and she doesn't care where she puts the colors. Nature just blooms, and it works. And so I think really it's a matter of allow your creativity. And it, as you said, Anna, it doesn't matter what other people think. You know, my creativity tends to come out in lots of different ways, actually. And it definitely seems to come out in my knitting, because I've knitted one blanket and I'm on the second one now. But I've made it out of triangles, and they're all different colors. So in that respect, you could class it a work of art. But
it is.
But
It
is about just enjoy it. Enjoy the process. And okay, the first blanket, it was just like my mother's fallen in love with it, and so she's got it. I don't know what's going to happen with the second one at the moment, but just have a little bit of belief in yourself. And if you see, I've seen artwork that I can appreciate the talent that has gone into it, but I haven't liked the subject matter at all, because it was to do with still life and a dead hair or something. It was exquisitely painted, but I would never have given it house room. And it was a very expensive painting. It was an antiques art fair, but because it's not my thing. It doesn't have to be your thing for you to appreciate something. And that creativity is almost about freedom you're giving your soul to express in this life, for me.
That's so beautiful. And I'm sitting here thinking about... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I think it's a little bit of delay in the sound, and I'm just...
No problem.
So, yes, I think art and creativity, in creativity in general, it has a big desire to you to be willing to be free. And most of the people, what I am seeing, they are not sure that they are willing to be free. Because freedom, it's a lot of reality. And the responsibility, it's a hell out of scary thing. and doing something what it was never done before. It doesn't have a form or a shape or a color, and you to dare to take the risk that, okay, now I'm going to make something, I don't give whatever how it will look in the end. Also with the children, when I am having my classes, I constantly have to repeat, it doesn't matter the final product, how it looks like, product or whatever, is the process. That during the process of making it, that you feel joyful, that you are your imagination, that you are actually just splash into the colors and be in that moment. And I noticed when the children and myself as well, when we are just stepping into that, the final product, actually it is amazing. So when you finish it and you are like, okay, stepping back, I'm done, I enjoyed it, and it's visible that the joy what you are having, it is there on the canvas, and even the canvas is happy to have those colors on it. So it's like I'm like, yeah, maybe it's a co-creation of us together, like the canvas, the painting, and then we are doing something all together, but without really thinking too much. I always say the clients when they are coming to my studio that leave reality and your mind at the doorstep. So when you come in, you just leave it there. In
Yeah.
here, do not think, just feel and let it flow. And it's a bravery to do that.
Well, it's interesting that you
I
say
don't know
that
how you
also.
think.
It's interesting that you say that also, Anna, because one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is that I know traditional painting, and I say traditional meaning that there's a subject in front of you, there's an energetic flow from that subject, whether that subject happens to be an object or a person or anything like that. And a lot of times you can capture the energy of that object or that person. But when you're drawing abstract, in fact, that there's not really an object, you're being really informed inwardly. So how does that work? How do you capture the energy of what you're doing when you're painting abstract?
How you can, well, my experience is that it's really about disconnecting the rational mind, and then this form, I don't know, somehow your hand, the color, uh, and something within you knows the shape which you don't know it yet. You cannot express it in words or whatever, but you do create something what intuitively you know that it exists, and that has an energy. I even would dare to say that when we are creating something out of us, it's not our decision. It is drawing, is that painting decided to have a shape. It's like us when we decided to incarnate and have a life. It might be that even that these paintings, they decided I want to have a shape, I want to have a form, I want to have a lifetime, which starts created by this artist through her or through you. And that maybe I'm going to live a short lifetime because somehow I'm going to be destroyed, or maybe I'm going to be in museums for centuries, and people will come by and see me and share their thoughts, their feelings with me, and then I'm going to have an impact on so many people. You cannot actually, maybe that is happening. that these artworks or these creations, like really symphonies, what we are having, maybe the symphony itself wanted to have a shape already, and then using the intuition of someone, of a composer, it came into the life. So in this case, I think the model itself, it's creating itself, and we are just a channel to it. I don't know
Sara
if
J.
that is vibrating or
I think
because when sorry.
No. Well, I was going to say, when you think about how many people have said that piece of wood, that piece of stone, it already knew what it was going to be. The person that chiseled it out was just bringing to life what was already in there. That piece of wood or stone already knew the form it was going to take. And that sounds to me exactly what you're saying with your abstract art. It's almost as if that canvas, that piece of paper, already knows what it chooses to show to the world.
It's interesting that you say
I
that,
do.
Sara J. Oops, I want to interject. It's interesting that you're saying that because I sketch a little bit, okay, and I paint also just a little bit. I'm not that's not my vocation, but one of the things that I've always noticed when I'm sketching is that when I'm energetically connected to that object or energetically connected, to what I'm doing and what I'm sketching, whether it's land or object or anything, that it actually informs me when it's done. It actually informs me and tells me, okay, I'm complete, or no, you haven't finished me yet. There's more color to be seen. There's more detail to be seen. Is that the case in abstract? Is that the case when you paint also?
Yes. I had some artworks I made, and I never had the feeling it's not finished. I was interrupted or something happened that I was distracted in the moment when I was creating it, and 2 years passed, and every time I was passing by and I was, it's not complete, it's something, it's missing, it's still not the right one, it's not what it should have been, but it wasn't, I didn't know, because I was trying with my rational mind, like, what is this? And then it did happen that I woke up 3 a.m. in the night, and I came out, I took it, and suddenly I was just like making something. And when 7 o'clock in the morning I woke up again, I came out and I was like, oh, so now you are finished because you decided to finally arrive there, because maybe I was again in that emotion or in that energy field, and then it was just calling me like, okay, now we are again in that vibration, we can finish this one. The rationality, I could not even touch it. I was like, I don't know, it's not, it has no sense for me. And it's always a big question when to stop when you are painting, when you consider that it's finished. And I do have the feeling that actually work itself says, okay, I'm done, don't touch me anymore, it's perfectly fine as it is. And my big, but that's quite human, I have trouble waiting until it's drying. I'm like, don't touch it, don't touch it, I wait until it's completely dry, because well, that's the moment where you can actually destroy it in a way, because you just want to see, is it dry, is it dry? And then you put your finger there, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't. So yes, I do believe they do have their own life. And it says that a child, that the mother is feeling, or there's a call of the unborn child that the mother, before to give birth, it will dream, or the call of that child. But I think also similar. It's like I already know that those white canvases, what I brought today, they already know what they want to be, or they will have their shape. They know it. I still don't know it because I'm still just like tapping into that. And it's interesting how I'm choosing the colors. You know, like I'm seeing so many artists. I think every artist is amazing in its own way, and I'm not questioning the talent. There are so many talented people out there, and also, you know, how you were saying classical way of making art, like you have a model and then you are following the energy, or just the going into perfection. And it is in this case what I am doing is just the colors, and then sometimes looking, oh, is the green one, okay, then let's use the green one. And it happens that I want to be a little bit more strict with myself, preparing the edges and everything, that now I'm going to be net and clean and whatever. And then I end up that I am full paint because I'm painting with my hand. Because in that moment when I start to do it, I'm disconnected from this world. And then I am just that thing. I am together with the painting, with the canvas, and with the source, and it's just pure joy. It's like sometimes I'm listening different emissions or whatever they are having, like, and you hear like this addition and that addiction, and this happens and that happens, and I'm like, they should paint and then everybody would be just happy and fine, because it's like really I don't know, it's pure joy for me.
Yes, yes. Sarah Jane?
I think for all of us, it's whether it's painting, whether it's drawing, whatever it is. And I actually have, obviously the adult coloring books. I have got a couple of those, but it's getting hold of the right crayons, because some of them are so pale in color. And my thing is, actually, I want to see lovely, bold, bright colors. It really is important to me that it comes to life. And actually, it's right here. And this was bought for me. WWF, so the Worldwide Fund for Nature. And so their very first one. Whoops, that way. And that's the panda. And it was sort of, I don't actually, if I think, yeah, I have it, yeah. And so, but obviously, it was just fill it with color. But I would love to have had the colors to be brighter. And obviously it's definitely the panda shaped head, but it's very abstract within what's in it. And you can have such fun with it. If you haven't got that, you feel restricted, that you have to have some sort of guidance, then that's the way to go. Because, obviously I haven't done much in the book, but then there's the turtle. So you've got all those different shapes that you can fill in with different colors. So if you're concerned about or wary about doing something yourself from a blank canvas, then something like the adult coloring books is a really great place to start.
That's wonderful. And that leads me right into my next question that I wanted to ask, which is, how does healing take place as we are doing our artwork? You know, some of us look at the healing as the vibration of the colors, and the colors vibrate a certain way, and it gives us peace. And, you know, like a cool color, like let's say blue, instead of having anxiety, would calm you down because it brings peace and warmth and kind of that flow like water, you know, versus fiery red. But how does healing take place for you when you're working with your art?
Well, healing can happen in many years and in many aspects. So, um, first, the colors what we are using is, of course, it's never a coincidence. Colors are talking. When I'm working also with my clients, we are always talking after that about the emotions, what they were going through, why they were choosing different colors, why you were putting the sun in this side and not on that side, why, because in a composition, let's say in a healing process or in a healing session, everything symbolism, but through art, from my point of view, my healing uh, was a lot of discharging energies, what was blocked within me. I was literally feeling that putting things on the paper, from one day to another, I was feeling lighter. I was feeling more free. And well, 10 years ago, when I got ill, I still didn't know what's happening. I was like, what it is this? And then when I started to draw out everything, it was really like from one day to another, I was just better feeling. And then I realized it was like really like a medicine. And I realized that if I'm skipping a day drawing, I'm not well. So, and then now, after years taking and what seeing my old artworks, I realized that they are immensely full with different symbols and what I was so much talkative. And I think how it is healing. First, for example, for people who are suffering of anxiety, and it also does it does matter what kind of art you are choosing, what kind of method you are choosing, because every person, and this is why I'm saying use your intuition, what it's calming you. So if you wish to treat your anxiety, and then making these coloring books, what Sarah Jane was making you even more stressed, of course not for you, then you can choose something different, like really just have a big canvas and some colors and use your hand. I all our senses are ready to collaborate with us, because our body is seeking balance, and all our senses, our eye, or the touch, the hearing, they're waiting for us to decide that we wish to be healthy. Because unbalance in the body, it is not making ourselves happy also. So when you start to use your fingers, and you the touch of the cold paint, and then how this can take a shape, it is actually a joy. And then, well, I'm not a doctor, I don't know the endorphins and whatever hormones are released in this moment. I just that feel physically better, like more calm. And when we are more calm, our heart rate it's a little bit slower. And then you can actually, when like suddenly you have the feeling that my lungs are bigger, more air is somehow coming into my lungs, and more air I can breathe in, more oxygen it's in my veins, in my blood. Then my brain, it's like, cleaned in a way. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's also helping sometimes, like, you are creating something, and of course the pattern of how we were taught that you have to do this, you have to do that, that this has to be, sometimes it's kicking in. Many times I'm seeing also at my clients that they arrive and then they want to do something perfect, and then I'm like, okay, now we are stopping here, and we close our eyes. And when you close your eyes, you can call in the colors, breathe in and breathe out, and then you call the colors, and then they come to you, and then they open their eyes after 2 minutes, and then suddenly it's just like, like, okay, and then it's just coming everything intuitively, because there is a resistance of the rational mind. The ego doesn't want to let go the control. But when it is happening, when you actually ask for, please allow me, and call the colors. So in my case, I realized after 1 year that I am healing myself through the art. And I started to fight for it. If somebody wanted to take away art from me, I was like a lioness. I was like, you can take anything, but not my colors, not my drawing, nothing. I am fine without anything, but don't take away my colors. And then when it happened 2 years ago that we got locked down from one day to another, and I was in a country where there was no developed online delivery there, I had no idea. So I got into the point that I was missing art supplies, and then suddenly I really had to be creative how to survive lockdown all alone in a country. I don't know what was that, in my apartment. However, then I realized that I can use everything around me, because now also with the kids, we are recycling, reusing, giving new shape, form to everything around. Everything what you have in a household can be a tool for your healing. You just let that thing call you. You can use whatever. And this is how it happens that I am now in my artworks. I am using the alarm chicken wire net. So why not? And yes, tools are everywhere, and art, it's life-saving, at least in my case. I don't know.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Sarah Jane?
I think it's really the lockdown really had to bring out people's creativity, didn't it? In so many different ways. It really did, because it doesn't matter whether you were somewhere where you could potentially get things delivered. If they weren't essential, then it was only essentials that were available initially. And so yes, if there was something missing that wasn't essential, you had to become creative.
Yes.
And I think
Yes. And I'm sitting here listening.
It was so amazing that I remember.
Go ahead. It was so amazing.
No, I remember in the lockdown period, it was a moment where my father was saying, so you were talking on video call, and he was saying, but you have bed sheets, you can use them as canvas, so you can paint on that. It doesn't matter. If you need paint the walls, paint whatever, just keep yourself sane. So in that moment, I was really like, my mental health is priority. I don't care about anything else. I need my art. I need to tap into my world, and then it can happen whatever it's happening in the world. Just give me paint and canvas or brushes and whatever, that I can go on forever like that. So it was really challenging in the moment, in a positive way, because it I think not just for me, also for every one of us in this period, was bringing out such an amazing tools what we were having it hidden inside us. And
Yeah.
suddenly it was just like, obviously, oh, but I can do this and I can do that. And that was also a healing for all of us, because in that, mental health was what I think the priority. I am a person who had a TV in the house with dust, but I'm not turning it on. So I really had to do something, and then I did it.
Yeah. So then when we look at art and we look at all of the energetics that come together, how does meditation play a role? How does meditation play a role as you're painting, as you're going through the healing process? I mean, do you meditate? Does it have a role in like the art therapy that takes place?
Yes. Well, I have my arguments with the word meditation, what it means exactly, and how we. I do meditate my way. I don't know. Nobody ever taught me or showed me or explained me that you should do it like this. Of course, there is YouTube, and then you tap into, and then you listen, and then you are like, it's not. It's not what I wish. It's not what I feel. And then at certain point, after you were searching and Googling and listening and whatever, you just push away everything. And then that's the moment when you start to meditate, when you listen to your own self. What balances me? So for me, the meditation, making art, it's a form of meditation, of course. But for example, when I meditate, I'm talking. I'm just connecting to whoever listens, and well, maybe 20 is having a clinical case and take us, or take me to I don't know, a hospital, saying that, oh, this girl, it's a little bit like crazy. But I am talking, and through talking, somehow. I don't know if anybody else, or it's just me, like when you ask source or the beyond or universe, God, name it, who and how you wish, you ask questions and it's coming the answer through goosebumps. Well, that's my case. So when I know that I am in the right place, and I know that I am doing something good. If I do have the reaction, if nothing happens, I'm like, okay, so okay, that was not the right thing, so I'm not going to do it. And I don't know how long it's taking. I never count the hours or the minutes. Sometimes I have the feeling that I've been talking 5 minutes, and then I'm silencing myself, and somehow then it's possible to just connect, and my mind is free, and it's really zero thoughts. And when I arrived in that point, I realized that for me, in my case, expressing myself through art was the channel where my mind could release a lot of pain, a lot of unspoken things. And when we are really, because might be that for most of us, finding a way to let things have a shape or be expressed, it is there. It doesn't blow anymore our mind, you know. And when because our mind is mostly connected with our ego, and it's ruled by control and fear and all these negative, so low energies, low frequencies. But when I gave shape to my biggest fear, it loses its power. I can see you, I can feel, I can touch you, I can talk to you, I can say I love you. You are my fear, but I am not wishing you to rule me. And when through the art, or in my, yes, through art, or through talking, or giving shape to what it is inside us, struggling us, or hurting us, um, somehow it is losing its power, because until it's shapeless and it's, you don't know exactly what it is. It's like when you know that you have a sickness, but you still don't have the diagnosis. And this uncertainty, it is what our ego and our fears are embracing and then making it big, you know? And then you realize that it is not an elephant, it's like whatever, a bug. So demystifying our fears, it's helping, and art is helping demystifying the fear, because then you realize that it's not so big. I'm not afraid of a bug. I might be afraid of an elephant, but I can deal with a bug. No?
Yeah.
I'm more likely to be afraid of a bug than an
So it's perception. It's all about perception.
No, it is absolutely about perception. So, Enolia, when you're doing your drawing, do you think you find yourself in a meditative state, or do you? How does it make you feel?
Mm. I'm in another world. I'm definitely in another world. And it's the relationship between me and the object, or me and the scenery that I'm drawing, and I literally just tap into that energy and I feel it and it guides me. I haven't been drawing very long, and so for me, I how I learned was just definitely to allow that the energy of that object to share and tell me what to do. I can share one piece that I've drawn. I'm going to do it because we're going to have Anna do it too.
Yes, absolutely.
So I've learned to draw people, and in doing that, it's just that I capture that person's face, that person's thought. But the most fun that I had was drawing a self portrait, and I drew myself at when I was in the third grade, and so this was my drawing of myself, and I loved it because it was just like the picture that I took it from was still me, and feeling the energy of me and feeling the energy of the fact that youth, and that, the light in my eyes, because I had the whole world in front of me, and it was just a moment in time. It was a moment in time. And I also found that that's when I really started acknowledging light. how light plays, how light dances, how light affects, how light shadows. All of those pieces are really, really significant. And I never looked at light before. I never looked at the dance of light and where it can play and how it can hide and show in places that you wouldn't think because you didn't really take the time to look. And so I love it. I find it meditating. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating where people draw from to create it, to show the inside out, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. It really is.
Excellent. Anna, I know you've got some obviously the artwork on the wall behind you is all yours, but you were talking about symbols within your artwork. Is there anything that you've got there that could show us what you mean? Or have I just asked you the question you were not expecting?
I might have that one. So let me just see which one is here.
While you're looking, I would
This
say
is,
that,
for example,
oh, go ahead.
is this one, for example? Well, it's not so much in this because this is a mixture of painting and drawing. So mostly I am always making the eyes and the lips exaggerated. All my drawings they were very detailed and very exaggerated, everything. And if you see the eyes, I'm never making in the classical way. I'm always using different patterns and which were, and then you see it's like the center of Mother Earth. And yeah, well, this is just what I have suddenly here because I have to go on the other side for more. There is one more I can show you. Just 1 second.
Because I don't know about you, Nolia, but that one behind looks like a lion's face to me.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
Yeah, well, with the lion, I was just, well, I'm a lion.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
And I'm not really having monocolor, so that's I think 1 or 2 drawings I have which are not colored, and one of them it's so I try to hold it in a way that because this is framed, so
beautiful.
I don't know if it's visible.
Yeah.
Okay, like this is more visible. You know, like very detailed. And yeah, well, it is. I don't know if anyone
gorgeous.
sees me.
Yes, we can see the whole thing.
Okay, so the drawings, what were in my healing process were, well, minimum this detail or even more. And I was seeing a lot of, well, you know, we have every country, every nation has its symbols and patterns what are used, you know, like in how it says in English, sewing or wood sculpture, and but then a few which are not region, and as I am using I love. I'm not really fond of pastel colors. I don't like to diminish the power of a color. I like it to have really a vibrant. And everybody was like, "But this is not Europe. From where are you, or what are you doing? Because this is not really, let's say, European style." I'm like, I don't know. And then talking that why I'm making so big lips and so big eyes. It's like South America or even Africa, where all these nations, these beautiful nations, are using all these vibrating colors. And I was like, I don't know where my soul was wandering in previous lifetimes, but it was enjoying it for sure because it still brings the same colors. So those countries, those colors are somehow imprinted in me. It wants to be alive, it wants to have a shape. So here they are. So yes, well, my paintings are not so detailed. They are more spacious and they are more like, I don't know, having how it says, I don't know in English, like character. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
giving you a hint, like, okay, there is something. Express yourself. What I'm curious always to hear first the impression of others. What do you see? Because if I am telling you what I did, then I am chewing in your mouth thing and then I'm giving you a shape. But I'm more curious what is your vibration, what is your soul feeling, what is your heart feeling. So yeah, this is. But I think as an Olia and you also making art or using your creativity, it is something underrated globally. And I'm happy to see that in the educational system, slowly, the creativity, art, and the significance of art, it is gaining more space. And we are not considered anymore lunatics or I don't know, somehow a secondary part of society. And I'm always trying to remind people because, well, I'm returning a bit to the lockdown and the last 2 years. Uh, it did happen to me that friends, and I'm quite sure that they were making their suggestion with the good heart and with a good intention, saying that, well, art doesn't have a future, so you have to do something different. You must find something else for your life because art, it's out of fashion and it's not going to have any future. And I was like really upset, like, what? How? We are here. And then I said, like, it's not true. Try to spend your lockdown without listening music, without watching a movie, reading a book, having a cartoon, whatever, listening. This is all art. This is by artists. This is all made by people who dare to use their creativity. So, what are we talking about? Art is everywhere in everything. And creativity, it's in building a building, making a home, cooking a meal. It is all creativity, and I do believe web designer. You need to be creative how to make it, how to create, actually give a shape with colors to use. And I do believe that base of our everyday life, it's lying in creativity. In an emergency situation, from where it's our mind taking the solutions from where we always say instinctively we do it right. 5 minutes later, somebody's asking you, how did you do it? You don't know, because you did it without questioning yourself, without wondering or analyzing. You were just tapping to something what it was there always. You just were not aware of it. This is intuition.
Yes.
I don't know. What are your opinion about this?
I love it because one of the things that I see within art are, and when it comes to shapes and symbols, is the sacred geometry. And so when you talk about symbolism and when you talk about shape and when you talk about what it is that we incorporate in our art that gives it the energy that it does as we capture it, it's the fact that we do interpret it the way we choose to interpret it. And as we do that, we are drawing from the sacred geometries of light, sound, everything, of the environment, even in abstract. The beauty of how things come to form their shapes and their colors and everything, to me, just screams sacred geometry. So I get it. I get it. Sarah Jane, what do you think?
Well, I think just allowing our creativity and just respecting others' creativity. It doesn't matter whether we like it or not. It's going
Right.
to speak to some people. It's not going to speak to others. You know, you may love the John Constable's The Haywain, but you may not. You think, okay, great picture, but doesn't do anything for me. You may be well into Picasso or not. So, it doesn't really matter. It will speak to some. Not everybody is going to speak to everybody. And that is exactly as it should be. And so, and being able to allow yourself to be creative, giving yourself the freedom to be creative in, if it's needlework, if it's painting, drawing, if you're just doing black and white pencil sketches or sort of with chalks and charcoal, if you're doing pottery or woodwork, it doesn't matter. Writing songs, as you said, it is all artistry. All of it is artistry.
It is.
And different things speak to different people in different ways. And that is what it's about. And that's what we were saying. It's not just a picture. It's not just the words of a song or the music. It's not just a carving. There is real energy that has come from it and has been put into it. Can we open ourselves to the vastness that is within us, the ability within us, whatever it may be? And I know we've got to come to an end because of the timing. So, and Anna, thank you so much for sharing this. And I will make sure that this is under the video. Now, folks, I do appreciate, if anybody's got a question for Anna, will you please ask it now before we come to an end? Or you can contact her and we'll make sure that all her information is under the YouTube video. We have had some glitches with this tonight. It has not been perfect, not from what I've seen. And I'm sure that what I see is what will come out on the video. I've obviously been able to hear and understand enough, and I hope that you have as well. But obviously it hasn't been perfect. But it's technology. We're relying on the art of technology. But Anna, please share your website, how people can get in touch with you. And as I said, I'll make sure it's under the video on YouTube.
Right. Now onward,
Yes, please share now.
Shall I say it now?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, on my website, it's a blog actually. It's like a journey of my healing, and every blog writing has a picture attached. That is going to be renewed within the next half a year. I am reachable on Instagram page, Konya Art, and Facebook. I have also my Facebook page, which is Anna Konya Abstract Art. So in generally, these are the three platforms where my works are shared, and my writings, my thoughts, and also there I can be reached out with questions, and if somebody is interested in having a good talk or knowing more about my artworks. Thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you to Enolia. Thank you to Anna. It's been a real pleasure. In a fortnight's time, 27th of April. Now, this is the program that unfortunately didn't happen last month because of major technical issues for Enolia and for Kellen. I was the only one who was able to get into the here, but you didn't have any internet, and Kellen had huge problems as well. So next month, 27th, forgiveness, a journey of courage to a place of freedom. Kellen Fluckeiger. And forgiveness, I think, is a really powerful conversation. I'm sure that we are going to be able to have with Kellen. So I hope that you will join us for that. Thank you, folks, for joining us for tonight. Thank you to Anna and Enolia. And I hope that you've been able to hear enough, bearing in mind the 3 different countries we were coming from tonight, and that you've enjoyed the program. But please do, if you've got any questions, connect with myself, Enolia, or Anna, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you, folks. Night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Bye.